Welcome to our prenatal flow class. Today's practice is all about our spine. We're just going to get moving through the sides of the body, do some nice gentle twisting. And it really is just about focusing on the upper body and get the body moving in all different types of directions. I am not going to be using props throughout this class, but they are there. And if you do use props in your practice and you'd like to incorporate them and you know how to, please go ahead. Use support as much as you need to. And as we go through this class, just a reminder to keep listening to your body, to adjust as you need to. And if there's anything that doesn't feel great, you can just take a seat and join us whenever you're ready again. We'll get started in a nice comfortable seat, so you can choose to sit on your heels or just take a cross-legged position. If you do want to prop the hips up on a block or a cushion just for some comfort, you're more than welcome to do so. And we'll just let the hands rest onto the knees for now as we close the eyes. Taking a moment just to settle in, welcome our bodies to this practice. Maybe noticing just first how the breath feels today, how the body feels. If there's any parts that are feeling a little bit niggly, which is totally normal during pregnancy. Hopefully this practice offers you the movement you need to feel a little bit better. And if anything is feeling a little bit funny today, just allow this practice to kind of move in a way that will support you, especially during all of these changes. You can choose to keep the hands on the knees if you would like to, connecting hands to baby as you settle the palms on the belly. And finding your nice, full, deep belly breaths on the inhale, expanding through the belly, feeling that relaxation through the pelvic floor. And on your exhale, belly relaxes in. Just nice, simple, easy, deep breaths. Using our breath to help us stay grounded throughout our practice. At any time, if you feel the mind starts to wander, can you bring your focus back to your breath? Let that be our focus today. Let's take another 5 deep breaths here. And after your last breath, releasing the hands to the side of the body, take a nice full breath in, reach the arms up. You can even interlace the fingers at the top. Give a nice big stretch through the hands. And as we exhale, we'll drop that right hand down, side bending over to the right side. And bend through that right elbow, let the head and neck be nice and relaxed. Holding for another 2 breaths here. And on your next inhale, arms will come up as we move over to the second side. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Inhale will bring you up. Twisting over to the right side. So we'll take the right hand behind the back, left hand onto that right knee and just looking over the right shoulder. So we're not pulling ourselves into the twist. We're finding a very gentle movement here. And you'll feel to the point that feels comfortable today. So meeting ourselves at that happy level. And in our twist, just gazing over the right shoulder, we'll keep our body in this direction and then just dropping the left ear down to the left shoulder. So almost as if you're dropping the crown of the head to the front. Bringing the head all the way back up, releasing the hands, last reach up. And exhale, twisting over to the left side. Looking over your left shoulder. Maybe the twist feels a little bit differently on this side, so just going as far as what feels good. And then keeping the twist over, and then drop that right ear down to the right shoulder. Bringing the head back up. Hands will come back through to center, and just let the hands rest onto the knees here. Okay, nice big circle. So we'll take the chest over to the left side, leaning forward. And as you move back, maybe rolling back, you can round through the spine. And depending where you are in your pregnancy and how belly is growing, the movement will look a little bit different. So you choose how big or how small you would like your circles to be. It really is just about getting a little bit more movement in the hips here. Some nice gentle circles for the lower back. Do one more round in this direction. And then we'll change it out. Moving the other way around. We'll do one last circle here. Bringing the body all the way back up, changing the cross of the legs, so you'll be sitting the other way around. Hands can stay on the knees for a seated cat and cow. So as you inhale, just drawing the shoulders back, find a little lift into the chest. And as you exhale, rocking back, finding a rounding into the spine. If you would like to connect to your breath here, and I encourage you to try and do so, an inhale will bring you up, and the exhale rocks back. So you're going to move in your own timing here. When the next breath comes, then you can move. We'll do 3 more rounds here. And the last one. After your last rounding into your seated cat stretch, bring yourself up and just repeating those circles that we did on the other side. So nice big circles around, and you might even feel that this time it's a little bit different for the hips. Maybe it feels a bit different for the back as we have the other shin in front. But just letting it be really nice and nurturing, repetitive movements. Let's do 2 more rounds in this direction. And then swapping it out. 5 big circles this way around. Finishing your last round off. And we'll bring the body all the way back up as we come onto our hands and our knees. So creating a nice little box shape here with the body. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, gripping through the fingertips, and we'll just stay with our nice movement here as we find our regular cat and cow. So as you inhale, allowing a little arch into the back as far as what feels comfortable. And as you exhale, draw baby in, push through the hands, get a nice rounding into the back. Once again, find your flow here. So inhaling to arch. And exhale to round. Let's do 3 more in your own time. Staying connected to your breath. And the last one. Back into a nice neutral spine. We're going to take our left leg back behind us. Step that left leg over to the right side. So you're crossing it, sending the hips just a little bit further back. We're going to peek over that right shoulder. See if you can see your left foot. And it's just about getting a nice side body stretch here. If you'd like to add on more and you feel happy with the balance, you can reach that right arm back. Bringing it all the way back down, stepping that left knee in. We repeat on the other side. Right leg back, steps over to the left side, pushing the hips just a little bit further backwards and peeking over your left shoulder. If you would like to, you can send your left arm back as if you're trying to reach for that foot, even though it is quite far away. And then returning both hands down onto the floor, keeping the hips in line with the knees. So the hips are going to stay quite high. Going to walk your hands forward into a puppy's pose. Now, depending on how your shoulders feel, you may be able to take your hands all the way forward and lower your head down onto the floor. If that feels a bit intense for the shoulders, it is a big stretch. You can just drop your elbows down and then allow the head to hover. So we're looking kind of for an upper body stretch here. You can even take the hands a little bit wider into more of a V shape and moving into your puppy stretch. Feel free to part the knees if you need more space for baby. Two more breaths. Keep your right hand where it is. Lift up the body slightly and then thread your left arm underneath your right. If you can, relaxing the left shoulder and the left side of the head down onto the floor into your thread the needle. You might be a little bit higher up on the elbows if that feels better for you. Bringing the body back up, switching out to the other side, left hand stays on the front, right arm into thread the needle for 4 breaths here. Bringing the body all the way back through to center and onto our hands and our knees once again. This time we're going to create some nice big hip circles. So the hips will go over to the right side, send the hips back, and then rocking it forward once again. Take your knees as wide as you need them for these circles. And this is a little bit of free movement here. So if you would like to, you can combine these hip circles with a bit of a cat and cow. So as you send the hips back, it's almost like you're doing a little bit of an arch. As you bring it forward, rounding around. So it's almost as if you're trying to create like a little rolling action in the body through cat and cow, sending the hips back and forward. You can change direction. It's more about kind of getting a little bit of the side body involved too. Two more rounds here. And evening it out between the sides. We'll return back onto our hands and our knees, take our hands just a little bit further forward. If you're in your later trimesters, second half of pregnancy, you may want to take the feet a little bit wider for a downward facing dog. So downward dog might feel better to have a bigger base of support. So that just means maybe the hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart or a little bit further forward, feet can be wider. Play around with the alignment a bit. Even if you've been practicing yoga for a while and you've found your down dog shape, play around with what feels a little bit better. Lifting the hips up, big push into the arms, sending the hips up. And for now, just keeping a little bend into the knee for our first downward dog. If you would like, a little pedal into the legs. One heel draws down at a time. Two more breaths here. Find a little bend into your knees. Start to walk your hands back. You may need to find a little bit more of a squat or frog shape at the back of your mat. Bending into the knees, rolling all the way up to standing. Looping the shoulders back and down at the top. We're going to come all the way down once again. So starting with the chin to the chest, widen your feet if you need, bend into your knees, make space as you lower down into your forward fold. And then bend into the knees, curling your way up. One more like that, rolling down, chin to the chest, bending into the knees, make space, holding it there in your little ragdoll or forward fold shape. Bending into your knees, walking your way all the way forward, back into your downward facing dog. Good, this time in your downward facing dog, we're going to bend into the left knee a little bit, straighten out to the right leg, maybe peek a bit underneath that right shoulder. So just taking that stretch more to the outside of that right hip, all the way down the right side of the leg. Swapping it out, bend into your right knee, maybe peek underneath the left shoulder. And then back through to center, we'll drop the knees down. Coming up to stand on our knees as we take the right foot forward into a low lunge. So you can play around here with having that right foot in line with the hips, or maybe a little bit wider depending on your balance. Hands can be at heart center. And once you find your nice sturdy base, reaching the arms up in line with the ears. And we'll take our 5 deep breaths here. Last breath. Take your right hand down, side stretch over to that right side. Inhale brings the arms up, and we'll exhale, side bend over to the left. This side's a little bit trickier with the balance, so you don't have to go as far. Inhale, arms come up, and we'll twist over to the right side. So right hand will come to the lower back, left hand onto that right knee. All right, and just letting the hands hold there, the hands aren't pulling us into the twist. We're just twisting to the degree that feels comfortable. Maybe even feel if we can roll that shoulder back. It's a nice stretch into the chest. Holding there for 2 more breaths. Keep your right hand on your lower back. We'll take that left arm, reaching it up and back, maybe pushing the hips a bit further forward to get more of a stretch in the upper body. Good. Hands will come back. Inhale one more time. Arms are going to come up. We'll add a bit more back bending into this. So already in your lunge, there is a bit of a back bend. And naturally, we do get a little bit more of an arch into our lower back as we move through pregnancy. So if you're having any discomfort in the back, you can just rock the hips back slightly and not have to go as forward into your lunge. But think more in the upper body here. So we'll take an inhale with the arms up. As we exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest, almost as if you're trying to squeeze something between the shoulder blades. 2 more like that. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Take the hands all the way behind the back. See if you can interlace the fingers. Maybe it's just the fingers. Maybe you want to grab onto the wrists, find your balance. If it's difficult to get a hold of the fingers, just bring your hands onto your lower back and just opening up through the chest. On your next inhale, bring the body back up. You can keep your hands onto your hips wherever they were before, sending the weight back into that left shin. Let's step the right leg back and we'll swap over to the other side. So left foot will go forward. Boop, find your balance there. Get a nice, comfortable stance here. And sometimes when we play around during pregnancy, especially in poses, our balance starts to shift a little bit. So maybe even something as simple as taking the hands up in line with the head, in line with the ears, can throw the balance off a little bit. So move nice and slowly and steadily. Once you've found your lunge shape, hands can be at heart center or reaching the arms up in line with the ears, holding it for our 5 breaths here. On your next exhale, drop that left hand down side, bending over to that left side. Inhale brings you back up. And exhale over to the right. Inhale brings you back up. Let's take that right hand onto that left knee, left hand behind the back, into a gentle twist here. Two more breaths. Keep a hold of your left hand on your lower back, right arm sweeps up and back behind you. And then back through to center, sweeping the arms up. Got our cactus arms once again. As you exhale, bending into the elbows, lift the chest. Inhale, reaches up. Exhale, cactus arms. One more time, inhale up. As you exhale, move through cactus arms, take the hands behind the back, either interlacing the fingers, maybe taking the other interlaced in the other side, getting a stretch with the hands back behind you. You can also just grab onto the back of the lower back. Bringing the body back up, shift the weight back onto that right knee, taking 1, 2, however many steps you need to get there. We're just going to turn ourselves sideways onto our mat here so that we've got nice cushioning underneath the knees. From here, right leg is going to go out to the side into our gate pose. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, right hand comes down, taking a side stretch over to that right side. Inhale will bring you back up. Exhale, left hand comes down all the way to the floor, reaching that right arm up and overhead into a side bend over to the left side too. Now you've got options here. You can just stay holding your side bend. If you feel happy to shift some more weight into that left hand, you may want to lift that right leg and see if you can grab a hold of the foot. This is a tricky stretch, so don't worry if you can't grab a hold of the foot. You can even just play around with reaching back and maybe working towards getting there. But it is a tricky one. Slowly releasing that right foot all the way back down to the floor, and then walking your hands forward into a gaze stretch once again, but our hands are going to be down on the floor this time. All right. So you're tricky, you can't see my hands here, but it's okay. I think you'll know where we're going. So we're going to keep the left hand down on the floor. The right hand is going to come behind the head. From here, dropping that right elbow down towards the left. Inhale, open it up towards your straight leg. So you're just getting a nice twist into the upper body. We'll do 2 more like that. Taking right elbow down and opening it back up. Last one, right elbow down and opening it back up. Bring that right hand down onto the floor, swapping it out. So right knee will come in, coming up to standing, and left foot out to the side. Inhale, arm sweep up. First side bending over your left leg. Bringing the arms up, right hand will come down onto the floor, and we'll side bend over to that right side. Nice big stretch with that left arm up and over. Once again, you can stay here or send that right hand a little bit further away, maybe lifting that left leg up. So I'm just moving into a quad stretch here. So not taking it back into much of a back bend. It's more about keeping the hips forward, kicking the leg back, just add on a bit of a stretch in the front of the leg. Releasing that leg, if you have a hold of it, walking the hands forward and having the hands underneath the shoulders. This time it's the left hand that's going to come behind the head. As you exhale, left elbow down. Inhale, opening up towards the straight leg side, towards the left side. 2 more. Exhale down. And inhale up. Last one, exhaling down. And inhale up. Taking that left hand down onto the floor. We'll step that left knee in. And if you feel happy to do so, just coming to sit on your heels. You can rock around and come to seated regularly. Just letting the hands rest onto the thighs. And find a few big shoulder rolls back and down. And the last one, relaxing the shoulders back and down. And just take a moment to check in with how the body feels here. Maybe connecting back to the breath. Noticing whether the breath feels a little bit different, especially after some movement. And if you're still sitting on the heels, you can send the hips over to one side, swing the legs out in front of you, and coming into a butterfly stretch. So in our butterfly pose, you're going to have your feet a little bit further forward, so more of a diamond shape than bringing the heels as close to the body as possible. Taking the hands forward and folding far as what you feel happy with, relaxing the head, the neck, and the shoulders. And we'll take 5 more breaths here. Bringing the body all the way back up. And then we'll step the feet onto the mat in front of us. If you would like, you can turn sideways down onto your mat, taking the hands back behind you. And you have an option here. You can either just push into the fingertips, maybe lift into the chest, looking up towards the ceiling if that feels fine. And this may be enough for you. If you would like to move into a reverse tabletop, we'll take the fingers pointing back towards the toes if they can, otherwise maybe a little bit out to the side. Push into the feet, lift the hips up, relax the head and the neck as best you can. And then lowering the hips all the way back down. Coming into side lying, let's come into the left side first. And just bending into the knees, we'll take the palms together. If you do have a cushion or a block, just to place under the head, I find it makes it a lot more comfortable. Even if I said we're not using props, this is one of those poses that actually feels quite great. So the palms are going to be together, lying on that left side. On the inhale, open up your right arm, cactus through that arm as you open up, just to get a stretch into the chest. And then exhale, bring the palms back together. We'll do 2 more like that, opening up. And exhale, palms back together. Last one, inhaling, opening it up, holding it there. And then bring the palms back together. You can choose to just roll over onto the other side. I'm going to make my way up and over just so I can stay facing the front, but you can just roll over and face away from the screen. It's not going to change too much because we can do the exact same thing. So now you're lying on your right side, left palm is at the top, and this time left palm up opens up into a nice twist. And then closing it off. 2 more, opening up. And closing it off. Last one, opening it up, holding it there. And then closing the hands back once again. Good. If you feel happy to lie on your back, you can roll over. If not, please stay in side lying for now. For those who are happy to lie on your back, you're just going to hug the knees into the chest, take the knees a little bit wider, and find a gentle rock from side to side. And even now, we're not going to be lying on the back for too long. So if you feel some discomfort here, this rocking may feel quite nice. And from here, we're heading into our Shavasana anyway. So from side lying, if that is your Shavasana, you can already get yourself nice and comfortable into a shape that you would like to take for your final resting pose. And for those who are lying on your back, you've got a couple of options here. You can step the feet wide, knock the knees together. And we will be here for a bit of time. So if you experience any dizziness or any funny sensations, just roll onto your left side. You can straighten your legs out. Another option for our Shavasana is to roll over onto the one side, like I said, and just taking a side lying position. Or if none of those work for you, maybe you'll join me in a seat. That really is just about finding a comfortable position that you can end off your class with. And whatever position you've chosen, just finding as much comfort as you can. So is there an opportunity to take up a little bit more space, relaxing through the hips or the shoulders or the jaw a little bit more? And with the eyes closed, just letting the body sink into the stillness.